Hey, Slider Crusaders, what an honor to talk to our next guest, Dr. Ralph Reed. He's the chairman of the Faith and Freedom Coalition. He's got a new book, For God and Country, The Christian Case for Trump, which came out just 2 days ago, which is either the best time for a new book to come out or the absolute worst time for a new book to come out. Dr. Reed, how are you, sir?
I'm good, Mike. Good to be with you.
Is it a good time? I think it's a good, people maybe have more time to read, but it's hard to break through and get attention out there. But I'm grateful that we could do this.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, obviously, we didn't know when we timed the publication, that we'd be dealing with the coronavirus. But I have had people tell me, hey, I need something to read, and it's doing well on Amazon. So I think it's all for the good.
Well, good. Let's sell some more. So before we get to the book, I just want to get your thoughts on just the whole COVID thing in general, and if you think, or let me ask this way: what's been on your heart recently when it comes to this situation?
Well, obviously, like everybody else, you're concerned about your own family and your loved ones. I have 4 adult children, and they've been impacted by this. Their offices are closed. They're either working from home or they're furloughed. The most important thing, of course, as important as the economy is people's health, that they stay safe. And I think the president has done an extraordinary job under very difficult circumstances. I think Vice President Pence is doing an incredible job as the head of the White House coronavirus task force. And these have been very difficult decisions by government officials, by public health officials. But this is a very dangerous public health crisis. It's the worst global pandemic in over a century. And let's just hope that these public mitigation and social distancing guidelines do the trick that we hope they will do by mitigating the spread and ultimately reducing the number of infections and deaths.
Do you think one thing that could come out of this for the better is perhaps a bit of spiritual awakening, perhaps people looking to God more than they were last month?
I don't think there's any question about that. I think that, without pointing fingers at anybody else, I can say this as much for myself as anyone else. All of us have a tendency to develop our identity and our worth and our significance and our meaning in life from, our career, our jobs, our 401k or investment accounts. And the economy was roaring, just 2 months ago, just 6 weeks ago. So to have all of that kicked away, and at a time of great economic insecurity, great social ferment, people tend to turn to faith in even larger numbers. Some of this is anecdotal, but we know, for example, that at First Baptist Church in Dallas, Texas, that the number of people who are live streaming their Sunday worship services has gone from 50,000 before the crisis to 200,000. Free Chapel, which is a multi-denominational church, a multi-campus, non-denominational church outside Atlanta, has gone from about 500,000 to 1.5 million people accessing their services. So there's clearly a spiritual hunger, and the irony, we would not have wished for this, of course, but the irony of all this, and maybe the silver lining, is that there may be more people being exposed to the gospel and to a message of hope and redemption in the midst of this crisis and calamity than at any other time in the history of our country.
Slider Crusaders, thanks for watching the first on YouTube. If you want more, like, subscribe. We got plenty.